I think my job as a futurist is to help people understand the key trends which are going to impact them, which are going to change their world, and what they need to do to align their mindset to that change. Look, there's a phrase I use. Some people see the future and see a threat. Innovators see the same future and see an opportunity. And we need to be in the second mindset, because that's the only way we can go forward in a world of accelerating complexity. It's kind of a fascinating world. My key message is that, trends are accelerating, business is changing faster than ever before. We've got business model disruption, we've got challenging consumers, rapid evolution in products, and, Quintiq is in a very unique niche, that of helping organizations manage complexity. And everything I'm dealing with in terms of my clients, my clients are their clients, I am witnessing faster change, more complex change, and the reality is organizations are going to have to learn to manage complexity to a far greater degree. If we think things are complex today, we don't yet know what's coming. Look, I'm dealing with manufacturing conferences where I'm talking about 3D printing. And that sounds like some, sort of futuristic technology. But if we get into the aerospace sector, it is coming at a staggering pace. So we're suddenly dealing with new materials. We're dealing with new issues in the supply chain. We're dealing with companies who we might not have dealt with before. We're dealing with very complex scientific issues and massive workforce issues. Any one of those can be a springboard for new forms of complexity. So how do we manage that? How do we integrate it? How do we deal with it? So I think we've dealt with complexity so far, but we are just on the precipice of absolutely massive new forms of complexity. When we think about new complexities in supply chain, there's a couple of defining trends. Number one, product life cycles are collapsing. Think about how quickly we replace our smartphones. We're down to replacing them every 12 months or 18 months. That trend is impacting every single industry. Products come to market faster. They last longer on the marketplace. They become obsolete faster. So from that perspective, we see an acceleration of the supply chain. We need to get products to market faster. There's an increase in expectations in terms of the consumer when it comes to interaction. Look, Amazon drives everything today, and Amazon has the most sophisticated supply chain on the planet. They've got the most sophisticated tools for consumer interaction. So if I'm an organization that is getting product to market, I now have to be in a world in which I have to meet Amazon level expectations. Nobody's going to be able or willing to deal with interfaces, software complexities that are kind of marginal in terms of how they operate. We're going to judge it in terms of the quality and the level of control that we get through Amazon. So there's this rising bar of expectations. I could throw 50 trends at you which would impact how the supply chain of yesterday is not going to be anything like it will be tomorrow. Think about intelligent packaging, active packaging. I speak at a lot of packaging conferences. And what is happening is the Internet of Things is becoming part of the package. So suddenly we get this very complex set of data because we can now track the package to a huge degree throughout the supply chain. How do we do that? How do we implement the tools? How do we manage the new complexity that comes from, the big data that becomes, part of the world when the package is so connected? You could go at this from so many different perspectives. To me, it just screams out complexity, and to me, it screams out, we need to be far more serious and far more agile with what we do with this world. When I go to my clients, my tagline for a lot of folks is, look, we've got to adopt a simple phrase: think big, start small, scale fast. We're in a world in which people are thinking really big. Elon Musk, changing the automotive industry. We've got to start small with a lot of small scale projects to understand all the new trends and things that are unfolding. And then the third part of that, scale fast, that's managing complexity. How do we implement new stuff? How do we do things in new and different ways? Scaling fast, I think, is the key in terms of how we manage complexity and going forward into the future.